the hidden fear of intelligence. Have you ever wondered why? Throughout history, society has often been afraid of its most intelligent minds. Why do the brightest individuals, those with deep insights, sometimes make the rest of the world uncomfortable? Schopenhauer, one of the most profound thinkers of the 19th century, provides an unsettling, yet enlightening answer to this question. Arthur Schopenhauer's philosophy revolves around the idea that human suffering is an inherent part of life, and those who dare to look deeply at the truth are often alienated from the rest of society. His bleak, yet realistic, view of the world offers an answer to the paradox. Why do intelligent people scare society? Schopenhauer believed that intelligence could lead to an uncomfortable awareness of life's inherent meaninglessness, which in turn made intelligent individuals unrelatable and unsettling to the average person. In a world that often avoids the difficult truths about existence, those who see the world clearly become outsiders. Schopenhauer's sharp criticism of society makes his philosophy not just relevant but essential for understanding how human beings navigate discomfort, knowledge, and existential fear. Stay tuned as we dive deep into Schopenhauer's thought and explore the uncomfortable truth behind why intelligence often creates fear. Schopenhauer's worldview, the burden of intelligence. Schopenhauer's philosophy centers around the idea that human life is filled with suffering, and that suffering arises from desires that can never be fully satisfied. He was deeply influenced by Eastern philosophies, especially Buddhism, and saw the world through a pessimistic lens. For Schopenhauer, the fundamental force driving human behavior was the will to live, a blind, irrational force that leads individuals to constantly desire more, never reaching true satisfaction. Now, how does intelligence factor into this bleak worldview? Schopenhauer argued that the more intelligent a person is, the more acutely they are aware of the futility of human existence. Intelligence enables a person to see through the surface-level distractions of life and confront the painful reality that desires are insatiable and life is fleeting. This awareness creates a psychological burden that those with lesser intelligence are often shielded from, making them uncomfortable with the intelligent person who sees things too clearly. Schopenhauer said, "The person who has a more penetrating intellect and a broader outlook on life is often doomed to be more disappointed." The intelligent individual, burdened with the knowledge of life's true nature, may be pushed to the margins of society because they are no longer able to participate in the collective delusion that shields most people from the existential truth. The social alienation of the brilliant mind. Schopenhauer believed that society often rejects individuals who do not conform to the collective norms and desires. While the average person is focused on achieving social approval, material wealth, or fleeting pleasures, the intelligent person sees the inherent futility of these pursuits. Their inability to share in society's collective illusions creates a deep sense of alienation. A brilliant mind cannot easily engage with a world that places importance on trivial things, such as status, wealth, or superficial relationships. Schopenhauer argued that the greatest minds are often the most solitary. This is because intelligent individuals, especially those who are truly self-aware, struggle to find common ground with others who remain preoccupied with the distractions of life. In a sense, intelligence isolates a person from the very society they belong to. The fear that society has of these intellectuals comes from this alienation. When one person stands apart, revealing the flaws in the system, it makes everyone else uncomfortable. It forces people to confront their own ignorance, desires, and mortality. And in that discomfort, society often pushes away those who dare to bring truth to the surface. The fear of the truth. Unveiling the abyss. Why do intelligent people scare society? The answer lies in the fear of the truth. Schopenhauer's philosophy teaches us that life is painful and that human beings are driven by an insatiable will to achieve things that ultimately leave them unfulfilled. This awareness is not one that most people are willing to face, and thus, intelligent individuals who recognize the futility of this desire become a threat to societal structures built on false hopes and illusions. Truth is like a bitter medicine, Schopenhauer wrote. It is something that people will avoid at all costs, because it forces them to see the world for what it truly is. The intelligent individual who speaks or behaves according to this harsh truth disrupts the carefully constructed comfort of society. And in that disruption they become feared, ostracized, and sometimes even vilified. The fear of truth is not just about intellectual confrontation, it is existential. The more intelligent someone is, the more likely they are to see through the comforting narratives that society has built around ambition, success, and happiness. This brings people closer to an uncomfortable reality, that life may be meaningless, and human existence may be filled with suffering that cannot be avoided. For many, it's far easier to live in ignorance, pretending that everything has meaning and purpose. Schopenhauer and the role of art. A refuge for the brilliant mind. For Schopenhauer, art provided a brief respite from the harshness of life. Through art, individuals could transcend the pain and suffering caused by the will to live, and experience moments of pure, transcendent contemplation. Intelligent individuals, those who are acutely aware of life's suffering, often turn to art as a means of escape, not because they lack intelligence, but because they need a way to cope with the unbearable weight of existence. Schopenhauer argued that art, especially music, allows a person to step outside the individual self and experience the world in a pure, abstract form, free from the constant desires that plague human life. Art is the only true means of transcendence, he said. It is through art that intelligent minds can momentarily break free from their awareness of the world's inherent suffering, giving them a fleeting sense of peace and clarity. This view of art explains why intelligent people often appear detached or aloof. They may not be escaping reality, but rather using art to process their deep understanding of it. This can alienate them from the rest of society, who may see this detachment as indifference or elitism. Schopenhauer's critique of society, why the intelligent mind rejects conventional living. Schopenhauer was highly critical of the conventions and norms of society, which he believed were superficial and aimed at perpetuating the very suffering that he sought to escape. For Schopenhauer, society was often a mere distraction from the painful truths of existence. Most people, in their attempts to gain social approval or material wealth, were enslaved by their desires. Intelligent individuals, on the other hand, could see through these illusions and were repelled by them. Schopenhauer wrote, "Society is a huge conspiracy to keep everyone distracted from the truth of their existence." He believed that intelligent minds, who had the ability to see through the veil of societal norms, would be forever distanced from the collective, because they had no interest in pursuing what others found important, whether it be fame, fortune, or status. They could not conform to a system that was based on false premises. As a result, intelligent individuals who refused to conform often found themselves marginalized, misunderstood, and feared by society. Schopenhauer and the intellectual rebel, a path toward self-actualization. Despite his critique of society, Schopenhauer believed that intelligent individuals could find peace and fulfillment, but only through self-actualization and inner reflection, by embracing their inner knowledge and detaching from the societal demands that keep people trapped in meaningless cycles. The intelligent individual could achieve a higher state of being. In his writings, Schopenhauer often spoke of the will to power in Nietzschean terms. While Nietzsche expanded on this idea, Schopenhauer's interpretation was grounded in a more tragic view, that the path to true self-actualization requires the individual to step outside the expectations of the world and live according to their own understanding of truth. This, however, is a difficult and lonely journey. The uncomfortable truth of intelligence. Schopenhauer's philosophy serves as a powerful reminder that intelligence is not always a gift to be celebrated. In fact, for those who truly grasp the depth of existence, intelligence becomes a burden, one that separates them from the collective illusions of society. For Schopenhauer, the more one understands life's inherent suffering, the more difficult it becomes to engage with the trivial distractions that most people find comfort in. The result: intelligent minds scare society because they are a reminder of the uncomfortable truth that most people wish to ignore. Schopenhauer's philosophy urges us to confront the world as it truly is, full of suffering, desires, and fleeting moments of beauty. But it also offers a path towards self-liberation through art, introspection, and rejecting societal norms. Intelligent individuals can achieve a sense of peace that others might never understand.